So this is the setup that we have for Tenaj's celebration of life. The entry door coming in, a couple of cameras to see if we can record the event, a DLP player playing the pictures, and then we have Tenaj's computer playing her favorite iTunes music, things for me to read. This is Tenaj and Hubert's karaoke machine set up so people can talk, a podium. We have several tables set up, each with special things of Tenaj's and in rainbow of colors. And everyone has gotten everything set up an hour early. This went very smoothly.
Oh wow, she would have loved that you did that.
So I'll take a look at each table.
Do you want to write it?
We have the floating candles and butterflies. This is Tenaj speaking about herself. She made this.
Yes. And they had that paper right away.
I have the artist.
A little bit glossy.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You girls are doing great. People will recognize that right away. And this is Tenaj's celebration table. Lots and lots of things that she was wanting or loving. So there's Tenaj sleeping on the plane going to Disney World, and when she was in Jamaica as a child, young lady. That's the vase of roses we'll be in shortly. And this is Tenaj with one of her favorite cats. And that's her looking all spiffy. Some of the artwork that she does, a nice little box that she decorated every kind of which way, inside and out. Her tools. This is her most recent book. She wrote the Hugh Ray's book, which is an adult coloring book, all about hearts and joy. That was Clover. This was the cup that she had beside her bed in order to, and it says, slow down, calm down, don't worry, don't hurry, trust the process. Good advice. Tenaj's little project of 100 happy memories. Some of her favorite coffee cups. She loved coffee cups that had good advice attached to them, and she loved her Tim Hortons every day. And this particular artist, she absolutely loved his work and bought lots. She had all different kinds of cards. These were cards that she was developing for on her website, the little mini cards that people could have or make for themselves. And she loved butterflies. And she loved her cowboys. She actually bought this little hat for one of our cats, but he didn't like it.
That's perfect, Jonas.
So here's a wish list like she was wanting for Christmas or birthdays.
Okay, she's going.
And this is her, she called it my life list. People know it as a bucket list. And we were well on the way to completing pretty much everything on that list. Even the things that aren't checked off, a lot of them were in the process of being checked off. There's a couple of ceramic dishes that she made. She worked in all kinds of art. These are books that she wrote. The People's Palette, Keepsake Christmas, the alphabet soup. I forget what, so much wonderfulness. 1 potato, 2 potato. And this one was written around the Y2K thing, Do-It-Yourself Crisis Manual. She met, after she met me, she wrote that. Yeah. So this is Tenaj's table there. We have a special donation box that people will be able to donate to a bench that'll be put in Waverly Beach Park in Fort Erie. And it will say, "In loving memory of Tenaj DaCosta." That particular beach was one reason she decided to actually move to Fort Erie and live in that particular house. So here's another of the tables. And she loved candles that floated. And Nairi here made this wonderful piece of art from pieces that Tenaj had. And these, at this table, these little plaques were actually made during an event we were having at the house. So each of them was a person who did them. That was mine. Each person decorated their own to be hung on the tree, big tree above the property. These books kind of say it all.
Everybody was an awesome help. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. And you colored them and did it all nicely.
This is what I believe, and she supported me fully. Renewable energy. This particular event she had done back before she moved to British Columbia with James Boyd. Tenaj always loved, and people who know her, she always loved the confetti everywhere, so we have some. We got to be careful because it takes so much to clean up. And we made these memorial flyers with advice just the way that she would have said it. And this is the table where we have the food. Hello. Hi, welcome. I'm just doing this and I'll be right with you.
Okay.
Okay. So we got the food. Lots of food. And
Yes, tea. I'll take that.
so, and we just set up a series of pictures, art in the rainbow colors. And art that Tenaj made herself. And now the people start arriving.
Walking.
Okay, I'm back. Now, I'm going to take my hat off now because it's quite warm in here, and poor balding head is sweating. So it's so good to see you all. There isn't an actual agenda for this because we didn't know who would want to speak or sing. In this case, there's a couple of people who would like to sing. Some people would want to say some things. I will read out anything that anyone wants me to, for example, and I had a couple of things here that people have asked me to read. And then, of course, I have my own things to say, but really, this is for Tenaj, so as many people as want to share are welcome to share, and it's just amazing. Okay. I'm first going to read this from Kimberly Hart, unless she wants to read it herself. Just raise your hand if you want to. No? Okay. She actually sent this to Tenaj for her birthday. It's on the 12th of December, so 12/12/12, and she said this is essentially the kind of thing that she would still say today. So she reads, "We met when I was still in art school, being brought together by your vision, Little People's Palace." And you can see that book is one of the display books that Tenaj wrote. And a treasure trove of which includes creative projects. From that experience, we became friends, and you inspired me to continue my illustration career, magazine, text, TV, just to name a few. I have always felt connected to your visionary and compassionate nature. That you are a healer is no surprise, as it represents the goodness and greatness within you. Even though the years pass by when we connect, I am still inspired and warmed by your wisdom. Emerson wrote, "A friend may well be reckoned the masterpiece of nature, and that is what you are. Much love to all." And then she says, "P.S. George is a really wise man," so I decided to And Tenaj knew she was amazing. She knew some women in Jamaica who she called her Jamaican sisters. And there was Deidre, Michelle, and Jamie. And they lived together down there. And one of the things that Michelle asked me to do at the memorial is play the song "He Ain't Heavy." So I'll do that now and speak a little as it's playing.
and another one of the sister says, on behalf of my sister Deidre and I would like to say how sorry we are that we could not be there to honor and celebrate Tenaj's life. We are deeply grateful and satisfied that Jamie is there to represent the Jamaican sisters who love her so much. Deidre and I, this would be Michelle, met Tenaj over 45 years ago. We were still baby children, a little rebellious, and decided we did not need the guidance of our parents. So we went to live with our newfound friend, Tenaj. No one had money or a job, and Tenaj had a small allowance from her dad, who was not present but gave her a home to live in. Tenaj was the most generous person I have ever met, sharing what little she had with us, not just things like food and shelter, but also her many talents. She would use her creativity to whip up a fabulous outfit for me and ours. If I had a special date, we did not mind that we had nothing because we had everything. We had each other. I could go on for hours detailing the fun and laughter and many experiences three young girls shared growing up together. Eventually, the living together would end. We realized the folly of not being with our parents, but the friendship remained solid in its foundation, and a sisterhood was formed. In fact, years later, Tenaj again lived with Deidre and her husband for a while. One of the memories we have is during that time, Deidre's husband managed the band Inner Circle. We were all extremely close friends, so when they brought Stevie Wonder to Jamaica, we worked tirelessly on that show. Tenaj again did her magic, sewing beautiful outfits for Deidre to wear to the shows. My favorite memory of us is one day when we were living with her. I asked her if us being there wasn't putting too much stress on her. After all, we could have gone home anytime. Her answer was to play a song that still brings tears to my eyes, the song He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. And part of the lyrics say, the road is long with many a winding turn. While we're on our way there, why not share? But I'm strong enough to carry him. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Over the years, we lost touch with both Tenaj and Jamie, but we thought about them constantly and were saddened that we did not know where they were. And thanks to Facebook and my constantly searching, we found Jamie first and later Tenaj, and then we all reconnected. Unfortunately, I did not know we would never see Tenaj again. I did invite her to Miami for my 60th birthday. She was unable to make it. We often spoke about making a trip to see each other, meeting somewhere in the middle, and our biggest fantasy was us all returning to Jamaica again together. It's no coincidence that Deidre, Jamie, and I were together in Jamaica when we got the horrible news of her death. We knew she was ill, she shared that much, but we had no details. We discovered she had become a very private person and did not let us know just how ill she was. I wish she had told us so. We could have shared the burden with her and George, and perhaps been of some help. Certainly, we would have come to visit. While I respect her right to privacy, I would like to let her know we too were strong enough to carry her on that long and winding road. Rest in peace, sister, until we meet again. So I want to say, on behalf of myself, that many people here share Michelle's sadness that Tenaj didn't share how ill she was. She had asked me not to say anything, and while she did speak with some people, I was unaware of that personally. And while she would help anybody that got off the hat, the other side was that she didn't ask for help very much for herself, and that was not good for everybody. And I apologize. I know she would not have wanted anybody to be upset, but I loved her for who she was, for the help that she would give, and this other side too. And I know she wouldn't have wanted anybody to be hurt, and I don't think that she knew how ill she was. I certainly didn't. And it actually came as a shock to me too. So I'm just making an apology on that and letting you know that she was amazing for all the reasons that she was. Nobody was perfect, and she wouldn't want anybody to be hurt, even though I know that people were. So it was unintentional, I'm sure. So I have many more things to read. There's those books too that people had specifically asked me to read. Give me a second. And I now open the mic to anyone who wants to say anything now. Any hands? No? No hands? No? Okay. There you go.
My name is Ed, and Tenaj is my sister-in-law, or my sister. I didn't get to know her very well until the last 3 or 4 years, and I just wrote this for her, and I know she knows everybody will miss her. Although I only knew her just a few short years, and many know her better than I do, I'm proud to call her sister and never will forget the smile she handed out for free everywhere she goes. I know she loves to travel, children and her pets, a heart of gold and stubborn as can be. She loved to write her stories, movies, and popcorn. Walking barefoot in the sand made her feel free. So now we here are gathered to celebrate the life of someone who touched us all in special ways. Although her vessel may be gone, she's out among the stars and smiling down on each of us each day. Thank you so very much tonight.
Thank you, Ed.
Who's next? Somebody's got to be next.
Ladies, come.
There's a saying, I don't care how much you know, I just want to know how much you care. And I met Tenaj through Snow. And if you know Snow, you know that anybody who Snow come in contact with is a giver, is a person who loves. And something sticking out very, very vividly in my mind, and I can't remember how many years ago this was, but I remember when Elena went out west to be with this special lady. I can't explain it, but Elena went out there and loved her and cared for her, and that's what Tenaj was. I saw something on Facebook and I couldn't figure it out. I knew something was wrong, but it was always in code that she wrote. And why is she writing like this? And I couldn't follow it, but I knew something was not right. But I left it. I never responded. Because I couldn't follow it. Had I known that she was sick.
You're not alone in that.
I know. What I just wanted to say, Snow, because of you, I came to know Tenaj. And it's a person that gave and loved and cared. And she just loves people. And I know she will be missed. But thank you, Snow, for allowing me to her life. God bless you. George, we love you and you will be well taken care of. I know Snow will make sure of that. Snow, and thank you. God bless you.
Okay, well, now I have to go before my mom because she'll just make me cry. Yeah, I don't really need this. It's been weeks ago. That's what I give your little for. So, all week I avoided this. And I wrote it without crying, now I'm crying reading it. Many people come into your life throughout the years and touch it in such a way. For me, Tenaj has been with me since I was in the womb. and but it is hard work with my life. She actually it made me a huge part of who I am. As a child, I can remember doing like arts and crafts and going to the mall to promote earth and throwing balls at people, earth balls, and making them like environmentally aware and just being like completely different and just off the grain from the rest of my friends and making origami. And what was really interesting is I grew up talking about spirituality. And some kids don't really grow up talking about that, but Tenaj was always talking about life and being your true self and, you know, finding out who you are and don't just walk through life and just do things, just like figure out what the world is around you. And that wasn't on there, I was just going off now. She shaped me spiritually, always pushing me to be my best self and exploring who I am, my place in the world. When I was a teenager, she gave me this book, I got self-awareness for my birthday. I've gone to that book like over and over again. She referenced over the years, and in it she wrote me a dedication, and one of the things that stood out was I got this wonderful little book for Wonderful You, and it helps you to find answers that are right for you. She always knew that each person had their own path and helped us along the way as she traveled hers, and that was part of her path. And regardless of where the back took her, she never forgot me and never forgot my birthday. We were classes together 2 days apart. She was praying I would be born on her birthday. I never got there. I had my own path apparently to come early. We always had that sad bond. She always, no matter where she was or MIA, she went sometime. I always got my birthday message from her. And there's so much I'm sure we all can say, but I'll say this. 1 week after Tenaj passed away, I received mail from her.
Yes.
And kind of like don't expect mail when someone passed away show up at your doorstep, and I kind of like opened up this box, and it was these books she had taught me, and these tapes that spirituality tapes that her and I listened to, and she had promised to send them to me, and she actually did just before she passed away, and it happened to arrive after she came there, and it just said, which was really interesting when I opened it up, it attached a sticky note and her famous writing saying, Sorry, it's taken so long sending you these books, and certainly will arrive exactly as, and we stated on those words, duly as I'm saying that the word is called, designed to deliver. And no doubt you will enjoy and grow and treasure wisdom and heart, much less notch, and she just knew things, and just to get a message like that on her, I was like, I do need this, but not right now, like to the side. Anyway, she was always there, she was my second mom. And gave the Aki and Saltine dumpling, which she was very happy that I knew how to make. And I made it for her and George and Tom. And camping in the backyard with me and my kids, really glad they got to know her. And just, Tenaj was just an abundance of creativity. And Calendar Girls was the best song ever, although she hates us for it. We sang it the whole way to PI on our trip when we were younger.
Never got past April.
Yeah, we don't know anything past April, so we say January to April over and over and over.
And all while she was
trying to sleep, which couldn't really work for her. Anyways, I thought, and since she's passed away, so many things have come up, like the collages back there, we couldn't find backgrounds, we were going to make them, and all of a sudden, we find exactly 7 of her backgrounds, and, you know, we put them in the collages, and things are just coming to us, and we see things, and I was at work yesterday, and I still hadn't wrote this bloody thing. And I was like, I need to write this thing down. And I'm at work, and I was going through a client's earnings, which you never really pay attention to. And at the bottom of the earnings said together in life and death. And I said, you know, that's kind of true because I had her in my life, and I'll see her when I pass too. So something different that she would say. Okay. Whatever.
Hi. I'm Elena. I have spent my whole life knowing Tenaj, since I was wearing little red shoes, which she continuously reminded me of my entire life. In fact, I think she might actually have kept them somewhere. I will be hunting down those things. But I've known her my entire life, and every time I needed a break from reality or wanted to talk to somebody about whatever happened to go through my life at that point, Josh was my rock, you know? I think for everybody she was something different. For me, a mentor, somebody that got me out of my own shell, for sure. Somebody that I could be 100% honest with. And somebody that just honestly just believed in effort, no matter what. So that's what you know, I'm sorry, you started it. My sisters and I have spent our entire life together. And it hurts me like you wouldn't believe that we're gone. Especially since regardless of anything I've gone through in my life, the one support person I've ever had outside of the family, you know, has been my second mom. And she's been there through ups, downs, left, right, sideways, and taught me how to be more myself than I think anybody ever has. To actually allow people to see the sides of me that maybe I didn't understand at the time, or that I was struggling with. And you know, it's funny too because she also brought out my crazy side. You know, that side of me that never takes no for an answer, my determination, the side of me that won't ever stop being ambitious or telling the honest to God truth even if it kills me. Those sides of me I thank her for. I do, and I'm sad she's gone. I really am. Although I know, you know, knowing her, she's probably already reincarnated into some awesome little creature or a fairy. I feel like she must be a fairy. But she does show up in my life consistently. Ever since she passed, I see. It's like she's around and she just shows me things that remind me of her. I appreciate that from her. There's really no easy way to grieve for somebody that's passed, and I think that I think my life was better for having her. I'm going to Perry. I'm going to dry my eyes, and then I'm going to attempt to sing a song. Forgive me if I fall for Sorry for specifically next song.
Okay, I'm going to just read this little thing here, and then I'll open the mic again to someone else. We've been friends forever. And I'm just hoping that you know I never take that. Almost every day there's some reason for me to feel thankful that you're in my life. When something really good happens, I know you'll want to hear about it. When something really rotten happens, you're there to help me get through it. We know how to make each other laugh, sometimes with nothing more than a look. We know how to give each other good advice, and even more important, when not to. By now, we can almost finish each other's sentences. Best of all, we can just be ourselves together. And that's a rare feeling in anyone's life. We manage to stay close because when you have a friendship as precious as ours, you hang on for dear life. I never forget how lucky I am to have you. That was written by, or a card given to Tenaj by Tenaj. So, I'll change the video again while somebody else speaks.
And Bailey's not me, and I don't have anything planned to say. I kind of just keep waiting for everything to seem real, so I was like waiting for today, so I could finally process this, but I guess it's just like a lifelong thing. We have a very small family, so for me, anyways, my Aunt Tenaj was like one of my parents when you think about losing someone really close to you and you see your friends going through it. You just can't really imagine where you'll be when you hear something like that, or what it'll feel like, or when it'll be, at what point in your life. And it was obviously way too early. I was fortunate in a lot of ways that she was able to meet two of my children and not my baby. But she made this quilt. There's a picture of it that'll come up. It's really bright, colorful quilt. Like that I always wanted one, and apparently she always wanted to make one. And so she made it and she sent it, and probably about 8 years ago, and something really sweet written on the back, because she was speaking how it was written. And anyways, I had it hanging on the wall because I didn't want anyone to touch it and ruin it. And after she passed, of course, you're looking around your house for anything that'll remind you of her. And one of the last things that it says is that she hopes that, first of all, she didn't want to give it up, is what it said on it. But that she hopes whenever the person who's using it feels wrapped in love. And I would have never, ever let anyone use it. And now Graham, my baby, back there, plays on it every day. I let him play on it on the floor with the toys. So, I don't know. I have 100 things to say, but I don't know if this is like the appropriate place to say them all, but I guess there's just no shortage of times that, you will be faced with all of your memories. Like even driving here today, we were stuck in traffic, and God damn it, this traffic, we're going to be late, and I'm kind of having a little freak out in the car, and the radio DJ comes on, and he's talking about the temperature in Jamaica is the same as it is here today, and then a Bob Marley song comes on, and I'm like, oh my God, like, you gotta be kidding me. All right, I will just chill out. I will just relax till we get there. I don't know. I don't know. I could stand here and ramble forever.
I'm really happy that we have the memories that we have, and I love hearing about them from anyone that's willing to share them, especially some friends that I've met of hers lately that are able to tell me stuff about when she was younger, because I don't know, it's kind of cool to hear those things. And now I am rambling. So everyone. Like my children, it's been hard, lots of money. All this week was really rough, getting everything together and remembering her in so many ways, and fighting each day that I shouldn't be writing down something. Finding the ways to not write 36 years of memories, of experiences, of just lifetime, longer than you're buried with some of the factors we've got. Haven't slept much. Woke up the other morning, got 2 staff in front of me, computer trying to write it. By morning I had full month of cold sores. Right? It's not all emotional, so hopefully, and no, I couldn't put in 2 or 3 pages everything that I could barely say. So, underneath it, it's real loud. So, I will read you what I did write, just a bit of many things. And for all that know me well, my cards are written like a story, so please bear with me if there's no ending to this one, which I wouldn't like to end in the end. 36 years ago, Tenaj and I met at Tilda Roberts School, and she thought I was loud. I don't know why. You know, happy-go-lucky, this crazy creation human. Go figure. Not sure what she meant by that. I will jump a bit ahead and let you know a story when she did a surprise birthday party for me at Fraser's home. And when I came to visit her as many times that I did before this time, when the door opened, she had old friends and family in front of the door with cotton spots sticking out of their ears, just to show me how much she loved me and that I was loud. LOL. She didn't say LOL. I did. See, I told you it's not all crying. I know, I did. And I wrote Rick, R-I-P, get to the C. For all the ups and downs of friendship, we had it all. The memories are like river flowing. There was even times when we did not really talk for periods of time, as she needed some space from the world and negative spirits as she did with many, but we were always brave enough to do something about it and to come back together. We shared all of our feelings, thoughts, opinions, never beating around the bush. One of those, my kind of friendships, when you can say exactly the way things are, just because you care. I miss our conversations. When a butterfly flies beside me like a sunbeam, I will know you're there remembering the teachings and outings we did, the many children's lives we touched, the workshops at the mall, the balloon fights, the staff meetings, the birthdays, the walking on the beach, our 2 weddings each, my children, which were yours too, and yes, you are welcome, and you always praise me for sharing them with you. Trips we took, like the special ones to Cavendish Beach in PEI, the lychee garden egg rolls that you would not let me come visit you to BC without bringing some with me on the plane, and the long walks and talks and Skype we had, the pencils in your hair or in between your lips, and the cats you loved and I hated so much. I'm a doggy
children still remember it well and talk and laugh about it. And during our drive to PEI, tire blew up in Quebec. I went to change it, and while doing it, my bra snap broke. So just as OPC drove up behind me, I pulled out my bra and offered it to the OPC 2 guy in case he wanted a souvenir from Ontario. Well, Tenaj and the girls stopped right there and then, so they should name my car St. Bra. We had a blast on that trip, playing in the sand and camping and jellyfish bites and eggs on the tree and toe jam and it was just...
You got so mad at Penny.
Yeah. There was no end to it. Your absence... Your absence has gone for me like threads through a needle, like rainbows in the sky. Everything I do is stitched with color. Your caring, spirituality, creativity, love of self, nature, cats and snowflakes and polka dots and rainbows and butterflies and dreaming and colored pencils and cooking and stars and moon and sun and love and so much more will always remind us of you. I ask you and the spirits about to get well soon because I'm embarking on life's journey this year to the shore. Have to fly back to Ontario and take care of me. To give you another reason and hope, first so that I can see you again, but somehow knowing that I was not, and sadly I felt it a year ago, and last summer I said, we will not be here this summer. When your heart stopped beating, I could not breathe. It felt like someone punched me in the gut, and a part of my heart broke off. Here on earth there will be no other like you. No farewell words were spoken. No time to say goodbye. You wanted it that way, and it was just too hard. You were tired, and it was time to get ready for angels to take you away. The last phone call ended by silent hang up, and I'm so mad at you for that. I know it was your choice and your way. To all out there, to not forget how much it means to share with each other, how much they really mean to you. I did with my dear, at times strange friend Tenaj, and I do all the time, and please do it too. Tenaj, in your life you touched so many, and in your passing many lives have been changed. May you rest in peace. I'm not sure which is worse, missing you or the fact that there's nothing I can do about it. Can you just see her as she's sitting on the angel wings above sprinkling confetti and coloring us with rainbows? I will remember you well.
Despite the circumstances that resulted in our separation, I have always had great respect and admiration for Tenaj, and continue to feel love for her as a friend. She was a highly intellectual person and also had a profound connection with emotion, and yet had the very unusual ability to feel and express those emotions while, at the same time, maintain a rational judgment of her perspective of the situation. It was both interesting and impressive to watch her balance these two powerful sides of herself. Constructive handling. Yes, Tenaj was a unique person, but perhaps the quality I found most endearing about her was her capacity for compassion and reverence for all living things. Make no mistake, I mean all. Be they great and mighty or tiny and fragile, all of life was included in her very thoughtful attention and care. I was hoping to someday contact her again, but continued to hesitate for fear that my reaching out might not be welcome. She was about the same as me. So I think there was still lots to do and more time to muster the courage, for I had no knowledge of the illness. Upon hearing of her passing, I was deeply regretful that I had not contacted her in George sooner. With Tenaj's passing, the world has lost a particularly involved I'm sure she's already fully engaged in shaking up the universe on the other side for the benefit of us all.
Okay. What I did was I took a selection of cards that, like Tenaj, interestingly enough, I didn't know until I was going through her thing, kept every card that we had ever shared with each other, and every rose I ever gave her, she dried them and kept them. It was pretty amazing. So there were things that she wrote. Here's a card that she gave me. I don't ever want to take you for granted. I don't ever want to forget what it was like before you or how it would be without you. I don't ever want to forget our first kiss or our last touch, or let a day go by without telling you how much you mean to me and how deeply I love you and how much I need you. I don't ever want you to doubt the way I feel or how much happier I am because of you. I love you. That is one thing that I don't regret, is that I told her every day. And sometimes she didn't believe me because I would tell her how amazing she was, and she'd say, well, give me an example. So I would give her examples. But it wasn't until somebody else told her what I had told her that she would actually believe me, because I was biased. So it's pretty amazing to go back through the memories at this time of all the years. And I only knew her for the last third of her life. There were people here that knew her in the middle third, and then there were people who knew her in her first years of life. So, anyone else want to share some things at the moment? We have some volunteers for music here. You guys ready? In time? Okay, here we go. Well, they're setting up. Tenaj has a website called beingu.com, BEING.com. And on the website, she was developing many of what she called ways and means to aspire higher. Because she was always a teacher, she always wanted to help people become better. And one of the projects that she had was something she called 100 Happy Memories. And what it is a deck of cards where people could write their memories and then make pictures or some such thing. For example, this particular card she did finish before she passed. It was item number 39, and it says, playing so much pool that I almost earned the title of Shark in Battle Creek, Michigan, and a picture of her with her pool playing. So she never got a chance to put all the pictures on these particular cards, but I found these to be very helpful in remembering a lot of things. And of course, these were 100 memories that she was thinking of at the time that she wrote this deck, which is in the last year or so. And number one was finding my long-lost Jamaican sisters after 30 years on Facebook. And she wrote that in 2009 when she found them. So that's something you heard a little earlier. And number two was the day Talon was born. Talon was one of her cats, which happened to be born about the same time that I met Tenaj, and Talon is still alive. He's over 18 years old, and he's living with us now in Fort Erie. Number three is, now notice she put cats before me. Our 3-day Renaissance wedding on the shores of Twin Bay's Kootenay Lake, British Columbia. She did get that particular picture there, so some of you were at that wedding and know how fabulous it was, and have seen pictures of the sandcastle building and archery contest. One of the things was, Tenaj said, I'm going to marry the winner of the archery contest, so you better get out and practice. Now, I happen to know that my friend Hubert here is almost as good an archer as me, so I had to dictate him. But, who was it? It was Elena.
Yeah.
Elena did so well that Tenaj was...
Oh, yeah, I almost beat her.
Julie was supposed to be the tell Tenaj what's going on. And Julie was telling Tenaj that Elena might win this thing.
I might have to figure it out. Like, don't worry, Tenaj, I got it. And then he kicked my butt.
But I did practice, so I won, and I
Right, in practice, not for me to just give it to you.
Okay.
You could have killed me, I did not marry her.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, anytime.
Okay. So, another memory, number 4, was diving into my aunt's swimming pool to retrieve her uncle's teeth when I was about 10 years old. And number 5 was when my boyfriend showed up at my work wearing tight black pants, a satin bow tie, glitter all over his bare chest, carrying my birthday gift wrapped in lavender fabric inside purple satin sheets. Number 6 was the triumph of finishing my first book, and that one would be The Little People Palette with Kimberly's illustration, which, if you happen to see the book, she did fabulous. Well earned the reputation she has as an artist. Number 7 was meeting Stevie Wonder on her birthday in 1970. Number 8 was being in the getaway car of my stepmother and her boyfriend during a store heist when she was about 12 years old. She actually told me about her stepmother, stepmother was a bad influence on Tenaj. She used to have Tenaj go get her cigarettes and joints and stuff. So, number 9 was my first tab of window pane acid when I was 15 years old. Okay, so you guys are learning something about this video. Number 10, discovering my butterfly ring and having it gifted to me. So the days might remember that. I don't know. Do you remember a butterfly ring?
I remember the flower ring.
Number 11 was meeting the Rocky Mountains for the first time in 1979. Again, the pictures over there, you'll sometimes see a yellow Volkswagen Beetle, and that's the car that her brother Rob and her took across the country in 1979. They were actually going to get to Vancouver and then work their way across the ocean and go to Australia. But the trip didn't work out the way they wanted, and they came back to Toronto and lived in Ontario for a period of time until she met me online, and then came out to BC again and she was me. West Edmonton Mall, Fantasyland, Roman Room, Lover's Getaway was in 1988. So she did it again with me. Yeah, so she evidently liked that one very much. Being offered the directorship of a private preschool, which, as most of you know, she accepted, and not only did well, but the government of Ontario sent a delegation to the Montessori school to look to evaluate how she did things, because her students were excelling way above their norm. So they actually have changed some things they do in Ontario because in teaching because of Tenaj's technique that she was doing. So in are you guys ready? Yeah. Okay.
We've never played this together before, so we're just...
Okay. Okay, so here we go. This is what I call the bathed side of the family in my own personal... Sure. Okay, here we go. You're gonna have to...
I don't... why she impacts everybody at home. She's an incredible human being, and we take it from us too soon, but I think she was ready because she's a very wise, old, evolved soul, and she has the language. So we love her, and we'll always love her, and we need her to do it. This is a song. I look up this song a couple weeks ago, and I haven't thought of it since probably 1955. Music was composed by my brother Tom, and then a friend of my mother's, 1965, put some lyrics to it. And the last couple of weeks, I added some more lyrics to it, and woke up with it, and I swear it was too much. And so I want to give it to you. Thank you so much. Perhaps my brother as well, because he will do it, and we've never played it together before. So.
I have to make a disclaimer. I didn't write the music. It came to me in June.
Take a moment in your minds to
Okay, we can continue with the memories here. Everybody's good at that. And there's so many things that the pictures remind me of as well. So, but in the meantime, number 14 was Missoula, Montana. Every time she visited, and interesting was I was born in Missoula, so when I took her there, even though she was an avid Canadian, like if there was a patriotic Canadian, she's it. She said Maple Leaf tattooed on her butt, and but she wanted to redraw the line so that Montana was in Canada. So it was pretty amazing. And in 1975, number 15 favorite memory was unveiling my first designer line of clothing with my own label, and that would have been in Jamaica. And there were quite a few people wanting to buy her clothes. She was practically a magician with sewing and making clothes and things. So another favorite memory, you might find this interesting, number 16, running away from my stepfather and mother for the final time. She didn't give the date of that particular one, but she did it. She wasn't very happy with her stepfather. Maybe to tell some of you guys the stories and what have you. So finally she was able to make it on her own. Number 17, buying my first house in Ajax, Ontario. When she was about 10 years old, number 18, she's walking home with groceries, laughing so hard with her mother that she peed her pants. She had a favorite memory of that. Okay, here's me, okay, number 19. being proposed to by my kneeling cowboy in the Butterfly Conservatory in Niagara Falls, Ontario, 1998. St. Broad trip was number 20 on the list. Going to PEI with Tenaj, Nairi, Elena, and Julie in 1995. In 1976, creating a bedroom studio in a walk-in closet that I lived in for nearly a year in Santa Monica, California. And so California is where she went when she left Jamaica. There she is about that age when she left Jamaica and went to California, where you've probably seen some Jamaican dancers in the pictures. That's what she did in California. It was very scandalous, I suppose, to the Jamaicans who were back in Jamaica, because evidently white people, Caucasians, don't do that kind of dancing in Jamaica, so it was very scandalous. But Tenaj always had her own rules. Christmas 2000, where she invited pretty much everybody we knew on my side of the family, and Hubert and all those. There's some pictures in there of the Christmas. And then there was the Christmas 2004, again, a big Christmas thing. Tenaj loves Christmas, of the celebration and all of that. And this is a favorite memory of mine as well, where Tenaj is helping Amanda and Scar mousse Hubert's hair into various styles. Now, what happened was when Hubert and Tenaj met at our wedding, he is my best man, she was the maid of honor. They were attracted to each other, but Tenaj said, that hair has to go. so she said that to Tenaj. So Tenaj, ever the facilitator, helped Hubert get a new hairstyle so that he'd make it with Tenaj. And some of the pictures in there are, you can see Hubert laughing and got that pointed hair and stuff. They had a lot of fun with that moving of the hair and making it all good. So, number 25 memory, being a fire eater in a Caribbean stage show and in Los Angeles, California. That was in 1974. And when she lived in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, living at the White Elephant Hotel and playing ping pong every day. That's when she left home and was about that time of her life. So you guys missed it. The pictures don't stay on very long. With Bryson, she enjoyed creating animated display windows at Warden Woods Mall in Scarborough. Being asked to host a merchandising program because of her first children's art book, Little People's Palette. That was a favorite memory. And of course, making Little People's Palette and selling 500 of them to the Girl Guides of Canada. Number 31, my past life regression birthday party at the Spanish Villa in Penticton. And the interesting thing about that, I was there during that past life regression, and it was pretty fantastic. I learned in that particular one that Tenaj and I had shared a past life as Anasazi Indians, and we both remembered that particular life during that particular regression, and we were able to tell each other what had happened. It was pretty amazing. Yeah, I was blown away. So yeah. So in that particular case, she died in Acadia, because the part of the city that she was in, cave dwelling, collapsed, and I came home and she was under the rubble. In a subsequent past life regression, we also lived together as North American Indians, and I remember coming across the creek. I got to see the creek and the bank, and then the teepee village in the plain on the other side of the woods behind it. And I remember I started walking across the creek, and I slipped and fell back and hit my head, and then I could see myself drowning in the creek, and that was the end of me. So This lifetime, Tenaj said she goes first, and I agreed, who wouldn't, and, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. So her favorite memory, number 32, was finding her brothers after 17 years, when all of them were separated and adopted out, and she has a picture here of her brothers when they were quite young. That's quite a story in and of itself. It was Tenaj that went looking for her brothers, and at the time that she actually found them, they were pretty much adults. And her brother Rob had been working in Edmonton and had just come back to Fort Erie. Essentially before that weekend, was I getting that right, Rick? And so all three of these siblings came together in Fort Erie on that one weekend that then Tenaj found the two brothers. It was amazing. And number 33 was a hot air balloon ride that I took her up for Valentine's Day in 2008. That was absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend a balloon ride for anybody. And they had it, of course, was very romantic, and they had champagne when we got down and that sort of thing. Number 34 was a fashion show that she organized, making a designer line of clothes, and hosted it at the Tiffany night in Club Kingston, Jamaica. And lots of people wanted to buy her clothes and stuff. I'm kind of hogging the mic here. Is anybody in the hand? Is everybody kind of enjoying this? Okay, good. She enjoyed treating her mother to a week in Orlando, Florida, including flight, hotel, food, and Disney World. And another thing she did with her mother, I don't know if she has any memories or not, but one of her mother's fantasies was to go to high tea in the Empress Hotel in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Tenaj made that happen for her too. Also, when her mother always wanted to go to Japan, and an opportunity came up, Tenaj made sure that she took that opportunity, because one of the things that Tenaj always did was try to help people achieve their dreams and goals. And almost regardless of the cost to herself, she would do that. Lots of stories about that. And this one is inappropriate for mixed company. Number 37. Meeting my frog prince, she called me her frog prince, and / cowboy, arrived on horseback at our 3-day Renaissance wedding. Now, one reason she called me a frog prince is because I have Asperger's syndrome, and therefore relationship things are very difficult for me, and she helped me very, very much. I can't imagine a better woman for learning to understand what I needed and then figuring out ways to help me become functional. It was pretty amazing. So she called it Frog Prince because eventually she had to kiss me and all turned into a prince. So, Kalispell, Flathead Lake in Kalispell, Montana, every time she visited. We actually found a man there with the last name of Wiseman. His name was Vinny, and we invited him to our wedding. There was no relation that we really knew. We didn't know him, but he made fabulous sushi, even though he wasn't Japanese. And anyway, that was one memory from Kalispell. And number 40 is blowing bubbles for cats. She loved her cats and would play with them in just about any way she could figure out. And over in Penticton, there's a young lady named Candace, which there's some pictures that you've seen. Anyway, being a fairy godmother to Candace and her daughter. Now, the number 42 was a painting experience with Stuart Copley in July 2010, and that is that painting back there that she did for that particular painting experience, which is number 42 of her favorite memories. So, Nairi, you got that? 2010? Okay. 2 pairs of sequin shoes, one blue, one red. I'd wear one of each and polish the fingernails of each hand to match, only opposite. Number 43. And she'd always wear different earrings too, they were matched sets. Pleasure Island, Disney World, Florida, now dismantled. She's very sad about that, but that was in 1992. Attending Deepak Chopra after attending his speaking engagement in Kamloops, BC. On one of these tables, there's a list of her things that she wanted to do in his life. Yeah, over there, and one of them was meeting Deepak Chopra. So when I saw that he was coming to Kamloops, which is near us over in BC, I made sure that not only she got a chance to see him speak, but I paid extra so that we went to the after dinner party where she could actually shake his hand and speak with him personally. And so that was pretty amazing. It's always good to see somebody achieve their dreams. So I can see how much pleasure she got out of it when she helped others. Oregon goes to my honeymoon, and that was our honeymoon, and it was 2 years after the wedding, and she says, well worth the wait, September 2001. It was being around the year 2000, we kind of just postponed our honeymoon until all that Y2K stuff got sorted out. And then it turned out, interestingly enough, that the World Trade Center was hit in 2001, just before we went to this, because this was in September 2001, just before we went on our honeymoon. And we decided to go on the honeymoon anyway, and it was very interesting because the beaches of Oregon were pretty much deserted. Everybody quit traveling. They didn't fly, they all canceled their flights and everything. So we ended up having the beaches of Oregon pretty much to ourselves. It was amazing. Playing fetch with Karma, Blueberry, and Zing, Fresca, and Talon, Rocky, and Poe, which are cat people. So Tenaj teaches her cats to play fetch, and we actually have a cat. I'm going to be posting this video on YouTube very soon here of our newest cat, Lumen, who she taught to play fetch, and have her play.
Sure she did.
Yes, she did. Yeah, so you'll see Lumen playing fetch when you see my YouTube video. Which I made while Tenaj was still alive. In fact, I was in the bedroom with Tenaj in the bed while I was tossing the thing out, the little spring out the door. So when you see the video, you'll remember that. Cookie Elves exchange gathering, where she would have a whole bunch of people come and make cookies together for Christmas. It was always more fun when there was a group of people. So I got to change the videos again. Does somebody else want to talk while I'm doing that? Yay? Me? You're out. You can do it. Okay. There's lots of food still. So, and especially there's the cupcakes and stuff. Please eat, because whatever you don't eat, I'm going to have to take home. Not that I won't enjoy it, but there's way more food than I can eat. Okay.